once again, without much ado, I'd like to invite the first presenter. Is Dr. Adolf Meao from Côte d'Ivoire, formerly Ivory Coast in West Africa. And he will be making his presentation on social protection, and especially from the perspective of the African Union. Dr. Adolf is part of a team of experts working on agricultural transformation scorecard in Africa, and part of the team for the scorecard is the section on social protection. So we will be sharing some of the research findings, especially from the last two reports that have been presented to the heads of government in Africa on agricultural transformation for shared prosperity in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Dr. Adolf from Côte d'Ivoire. Adolf, please. Maybe while he's getting set his presentation, I'd like to recognize two distinguished persons who have joined us. I informed them about the presentation. The first person is my mentor and PhD supervisor. I just got in touch with him yesterday after a while, only to know that it will be available to join us today, graciously accepted to join us today. That's in person of Professor Anthony IISD. That's the first time I'm calling his full name. Professor IISD, could you just wait to say hello to everybody?
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, please.
I'm happy to join you guys.
Good to see you. Yes, our professor is over 70 now, so we appreciate the investments in the lives of some of us. Thank you very much, Prof. I also have my colleague who also does some work with the African Union on the biennial review, Professor Raphael Babatunde from Unilorin, University of Ilorin. Prof, can you say hello to us, please? Okay, so it's good that everybody is staying at home and we can still get connected. So thanks to technology. We also have, though he said I shouldn't do this, but I can't see him and not recognize him anyway. Our chairman of Board of Trustees of Images Initiative, and is in person of Ambassador Can you just say hello to us, please? He's in his library. I can see his background today. He was with us last edition, and if you remember, he gave a presentation on migration on Africa, and we are working on policy digest for that interesting presentation that he made. So again, Adolf, can you please share your screen as we take your presentation?
Okay, so thank you very much, President. So my name is Adolf, and I'm very happy to join this COVID meeting. And I'm the only one from a French-speaking country, but I will make effort to speak English. So just quick, my presentation is about the status of social protection in Africa. Listen from Africa Agricultural Transformation Scorecard. So just as introduction, I would like to speak about what is exactly social protection. So as you can see on the slide, social protection is a specific set of action to address the vulnerability of people's life through social insurance or social assistance. But it's also possible, according to the European Union, it's an inclusion effort that enhance the capability of the marginalized to access social assistance. So it's also a society effort to organize so that no one is left without support. So we have some tragedies such as unemployment, poor health, and poverty with hunger understood as one of its ultimate manifestations. So my presentation will focus on poverty with hunger understood as one of its ultimate manifestations. And for social assistance, it's about the aid for the poor, and also called welfare or social aid or safety nets. And we are more and more talking about social protection for food security. So it's a new concept which is now developed by the FAO Committee of World Food Security. As you see, food security is based on 4 pillars. The first one is agricultural, for the availability so that there is enough food for everybody. The second pillar is access. Everyone has enough to eat. So it's the framework of social protection policy to fight food insecurity. You have also the utilization, which is a nutrition policy, and also you have the stability so that there will be enough food tomorrow. And food security, as we know, is prevalent in West Africa. And we have some figures. The undernourished people in the west region of Africa has almost doubled from 32 to 56 million. And we have also the social protection for food security is interested in mechanisms and instruments of social assistance. So we'll focus on safety nets to fight against food and security. And I would like to say that, for example, in Africa, we have cash transfer program distributing money to food insecure people. And the good program we have in Ethiopia, we notice that a large-scale social welfare program was put in place since 2005, and we have visible results. I remember we went in Addis Ababa, and I noticed that food is very cheap in Ethiopia. You can have access to food, it's very cheap. So Ethiopia in Africa is a good example of fighting against food insecurity in Africa. And following the IFPRI document, as you see, we move from poverty to food insecurity, and hunger is the ultimate manifestation of poverty. So, from the Africa Agriculture Transformation Scorecard, we move from Maputo to Malabo Declaration in 10 years, and the Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program was put in place by the AU Assembly of Heads of State, and the target was to reach 6% annual growth in agriculture and allocate at least 10% of public expenditure to the agriculture sector. And during the 10 years, we noticed also that the different countries start to build what we call the National Agriculture and Investment Plan, focusing on food security. But in 2013, all the Africa countries moved to a refinement of targets. So let's jump to the Malabo Declaration on 2014, where we align the targets on the Africa's Agenda 2063, and we have 7 commitments. The three commitments we are going to focus on are ending hunger in Africa by 2025, also reducing poverty and enhancing resilience of livelihood and production system to climate variability and other related risks. So, under the process of implementing the Malabo Declaration on accelerated agricultural transformation for shared prosperity, we agreed on a scorecard which is presented some performance indicator on the biennial review report. So the data we have from the biennial review, the year baseline is 2015. So from 2000 and 2017, we have the first BR report. So we consider this period of strong data we collect from all Africa countries as indicator before the COVID. The 4 indicators we focus was to see, first of all, the number of countries about the age GDP. So as you see, we have in total 54 countries in Africa. And in the red here, we have countries with positive growth of age GDP, and 14 countries with negative growth, so they are not on track. And we have also 12 countries which were not reported because of lack of data. And what we want to say after the COVID, maybe some countries which were in positive growth can move to the group of countries with negative growth of the GDP. And as you see, the undernourished population, the target was to bring down the percentage of undernourished population less than 5%. And you see that in West Africa, averagely we are at 10%. In Central Africa, the percentage is almost 20%, and East Africa and Southern Africa, you see that the percentage is more high. So the following indicator is about the job opportunities, and the target to reach by 2025 is to have new job opportunities created for at least 30% of youth. And as you see, the global continent, we are at 10%. And you can see some countries like Djibouti move to Malawi. We are under than 30%. And when you see Central African Republic, we have more. So the countries which are doing well are Central African Republic, Gambia, Burundi, Mozambique, and Sierra Leone, where more job opportunities are created for the youth. So those countries are on track to reach at least 30% of youth which have new job created. And the key indicator for social protection is that the countries should have in the budget line on social protection the total of requirement for coverage vulnerable social groups by 2025. As you see, Central Africa, East Africa, North Africa, and West Africa, we are under than 50% of requirement covered. Southern Africa is doing better because it's more than 60%, as you see on the slide. And we can see here where should the additional donor aid be spent, because you see on the figure we have 5 investment categories. And you can see that the category 1, which is social safety nets, has 15% on the budget to be given by the donors. You have also farm support and rural development, but the social safety net has to be, is now at 15%, but we have to do more to increase the percentage of social safety nets. And donors, we have 4 levels of countries. And from now to 2030, we classify the country in 4 groups. We have the high priority, which includes countries that will depend on donor for the budget. And in Africa, Africa will need the greatest level of support, and particularly Central Africa and Southeast Africa. And you have also a map where you can see the medium priority countries, which will depend on donor between 30 and 50% of their budget, like Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, and Mauritania. The low priority countries will depend on donor less than 30%, like Nigeria. And we have countries which are on track or on target. They will not need extra donor support from now to 2030 as North Africa, South Africa, and West Africa. In West Africa, we have good example as Ghana and Mali. And at the end, let me show you, you can see here a map. I have a map here to present to you. Yes, this is the map. You can see for all the world, you have a high priority, medium priority, and low priority countries, and countries which are on target, which will depend or not on donor aid for social protection. So as you see in red, you have the high priority countries where donors should invest, and the medium and low priority. And the countries which are on target are in black. So this is what I would like to share with you. And thank you very much for your attention.